All right, guys. You know, I got to talk about this. This is DJ Wolf. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. Like I said, my podcast won't be as long. I'll still be doing the podcast. I had kind of reduced them for budgetary reasons. You can also reach me on extended broadcasts on, what's the name of it? Anchor.fm under DJ Wolf. And we'll start using Podbean as well real soon. I'll give you more details on that later. Anyway, yesterday there was a thing that the White House do every year where they do a portrait or post a portrait of a different president every year. Trump was supposed to have done or pushed out a portrait of former President Barack Obama. Now, see, this is where the thing come into play about Trump trying to blast Barack Obama and get him on charges for some old trumped up shit. Hence the name Trump. Trump is trying to do everything he can to besmirch the legacy of President Barack Obama just by the fact that he became the first African-American president of this country. So there was a news report that came out yesterday that said that Trump is blocking the unveiling of Barack Obama's portrait at the White House. Now, why do you say that why do you ask this question, or why do you make the statement, and what are you trying to connect the dots with? Trump is trying to do everything he can to besmirch the memory of former President Barack Obama because Trump is white supremacist. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. This guy is a white supremacist. Now, and this is the first time that a portrait of a president has been blocked in 40 years, or the first time that this tradition has been broken in 40 years. I'm not going to no longer question about why would Trump do that. Unless you've been hiding under a rock and didn't know anything about Donald Trump, Trump has been fucking with Barack Obama for the last 8-9 years. Okay? And longer than that, probably. This dude has no filter. Apparently, whatever he does as president has no filter. Because nobody actually challenges him. No one stops him. He just do what he want to do. Because he has what I call, and what a lot of people call, white privilege. As long as he's white, as long as he's popular, he gets to do what the fuck he want to do. Trump was the one that made the statement he could shoot somebody down Madison Avenue and not be messed with. He did say make a statement like that. He actually made a statement like that. So I don't know. It's just he got a lot over a lot of people, and he wants to double down on and put fear, because this is the real reason why he's doing this with Barack Obama's legacy, and wants to do it with Barack Obama's legacy, because he personally wants to put fear. Not that he's going to do it with me, and hopefully he don't do it with anybody else who's African American or anybody else who's not. But he wants to put fear into our culture to say, well, if you try to do anything good, or you try to do anything right, we will knock it down. We will block every effort to keep the memory of you a success. And he wants to tear down whatever it was that Barack Obama worked his ass off for. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things about Barack Obama that I didn't like personally that he didn't do for African Americans. All right? I don't think he did enough. I really don't. But that's another story. But besides that, I don't feel that anyone should try to tarnish his memory for the historical things that he did do as president. Because there were some historical things that he did do as president. He just didn't do it for us. And I'm not going to actually knock him about it right now. I'm going to knock Trump because Trump, in terms of his the way he's tearing people up, I'm going to verbally try to knock the bullshit out the way about him. Because he's trying to search a memory of another president just because of the color of his skin. And that's really what this is about. He didn't do it with Bush. He didn't do it with Clinton. He didn't do it with the other Bush. He didn't do it where he ain't do it with no other president but Barack Obama. He's obsessed with him. Yeah. He even wants to blame Barack Obama about the pandemic. He actually, I read somebody posted on Facebook. I should copy that. He actually, in 2009, had mentioned something about the pandemic, or at least somebody posted that he did, and tried to blame Barack Obama about a pandemic that never happened under his presidency. And talking about, well, if you're a president, you gotta know how to handle the situation. You know, I'm just paraphrasing that part. But to make a long story short, Trump walks with a big stick, but he doesn't know how to handle it. And when he do handle it, he handled it completely wrong. But it's not, maybe it's not so much completely wrong, but it's completely wrong for us, but maybe in the case of him, because of his mindset, thinking he's doing it with righteous indignation. And really, he's destroying a beautiful thing here. And he don't care. You've never heard Barack Obama talk like the way this guy talked. Barack Obama talked with eloquency and dignity and pride. You know? Yes, he had his shortcomings. I mean, I'll be the first to say that. You know? But Barack Obama didn't get the support that he should have got from members of Congress. He didn't. Many times over, he didn't. You know? And they didn't respect him just because of the color of his skin. Now, Trump is out here trying to throw him under the bus. 4 years later, Barack Obama's no longer president. Why the fuck you still talking about him? Okay, I can see you talking about Joe Biden because Joe Biden is a candidate that you're going to be running against at some point. But even with him, really? It amazes me, man. Y'all, you know, and what really kills me though is the fact that you guys out here who put this son of a bitch in office, regardless of what he does, good, bad, or indifferent, you rolling with him. You know? He's done some terrible things. He said some terrible things. The latest is now, he claims he took hydroxychloroquine, whatever the fuck the name is. And it's a known dangerous drug for people who would take the coronavirus, who actually has the coronavirus, who would take that medication. It's a medication that would be detrimental to anyone who took it that had the coronavirus. And his claim was nurses and first responders were taking it, and medical organizations across the country was like, there's no documentation of it, and there's no reports of it, period, of any medical people taking it at all, not even as an experiment. You know, he just tell you all kind of bullshit back and forth. I'm taking hydroxychloroquine. I don't think he is. If he is, he's a fool. I'll tell you that right now. But I highly kind of doubt it. But he's trying to press that issue. For some reason, he's pressing the issue. they're doing research on many other drugs that they are vaccinated and possible vaccinations that could probably cure it. And that's supposed to be specific to the healing process of you removing coronavirus out of your system. But this drug that he's touting, man, is already out there, but he's pressing the issue. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But like somebody said, he need to keep his mouth shut on stuff he don't know. You know, you're not a scientist. And he always say, "Well, I'm not a doctor." Well, if you ain't a doctor, shut the fuck up. You and your own followers are actually stupid enough, and I do mean with the capital S, stupid enough to sit there and follow your lead. The one guy, when he talking about Clorox, you know, talking about possibly drinking Clorox, of all things. And the guy did it and died. A guy actually did it. Just based on the conversation that Trump had. I hate to see what people do with the hydroxychloroquine. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look it up. That's like something I might have been taking last year when I was when I was having problems last year myself. And they told me it was a severe sinus infection, which I'm still not sure. I still don't think it was. I think it was coronavirus. Because there was a superbug that when it was going around last year, and I heard about it right around the same time. But nevertheless, it's some crazy stuff going on, man. Crazy. And the craziest part about it is that Trump is all out about Barack Obama. He don't care about, and we know we don't care about his legacy, but like somebody was saying to me yesterday, you need to put aside your differences about how you feel about the way you view the way he handled himself as president. But he's so obsessed with it, and he's obsessed with it because of the fact that the guy was black. That's what this is all about. Trump wants to maintain his base at all costs, and he's doing it. Unfortunately, he's doing it. You know? And I know he's a racist. You can't say that he's not a racist. This is a man of power. He wants to destroy another man who once had power, but the fact that because he was black, that was his excuse to just try to tear him down anyway. You know? But like somebody was saying, you got to show respect for the office of the presidency, and even he don't do it. You know? I can't respect a man who is currently the president that won't respect another man who was a former president and a fellow African American. But you want to besmirch the memory of his legacy just because he was a black man. So you could actually influence other African Americans not to pursue that kind of dream or not to pursue greatness in their life by creating a false narrative. By recreating a false narrative. You know, and if you achieve, we'll knock you down. One thing about Obama, I'll give him credit for. He held in there for 8 years. Alright? Regardless of all of that, they should really make a major biopic about this. You know, there was one done about him when he was in college, him and Michelle. But there should be some kind of movie which I would love to see. I'm sure that's going to happen sooner or later, where you can see the challenges that he had faced as president. I would love to see all of that because I know he did. Michelle Obama talked about some of those challenges in her documentary, Becoming. She actually did address the issues. You know. And But the thing about Michelle Obama and McCollum, she kind of threw Barack Obama under the bus at times, and I'm like, I just wasn't feeling it. But she was gonna get her shine on regardless, and that was about her getting her shine on. But she got her shine on the back of his legacy. You know, people were eating it up. But in the meantime, Barack is getting thrown in the bus, and I think that's all kind of wrong. It's wrong on all levels. It truly is. You know, and I don't know how people could say that they're proud of a president like Trump, or I forgot, the fraud in chief. He wants you, and he's a manipulator. He's a media manipulator, and that's what he does. And that's what I really want to refer to him as, because this same son of a bitch is the one that's telling you about fake news, and half the stuff he does is bullshit. Over half the stuff he almost really lately, it's been almost all the stuff that he's been doing is full of shit and full of BS and inaccuracies and discrepancies and false notions about things. This is all he's been doing, but he want to call news fake news. In other words, don't believe the news is out there that's reporting things, including things about him. Believe me. Take my word for it. That's a dictatorship. No doubt about it. That's a fact. That's a pure example of a dictator. That's really what he wants to be. He doesn't want to be president. He wants to be fucking ruler. Yeah. And yet people will not challenge him on it. It's obvious what he's really trying to do. I have no respect for this man. I don't. I have no respect for him. You know. I will say that. I will say this. I wish he would get his, if he was really serious about the good and the betterment of his country, I wish he'd get his act together and get it together soon. I will say that much. Because he needs to. And if he ever did, he'd get my wholehearted support. But until then, I have no love for him. I have no respect for this guy. This guy's horrible. He's a horrible individual. He's a horrible human being, if I can even call him that. He's a monster. He looks like one big giant Oompa Loompa. You know. He just, I don't know. I just don't even know how he could live with himself at times, the way he do people. The way he talk about people. His own staff, he throws on the bus when there's a narrative that doesn't, coincide. What are you doing, man? Come on. Jeez, you can't drive out here. When the narrative don't coincide with his philosophies. You know? It just things about him that I really don't have any respect for this guy. You know? I have no respect for him. He has no real principles. Fauci, another guy who I actually have issues with, he don't even respect him. And Fauci actually lately has been making a lot of sense with a lot of stuff that he has been saying. You know, and Trump still throws him under the bus. You know, he wants to control everything with the White House. I mean, I'm like, dude, you're a dictator. There's no question about it. He doesn't like anybody. He's throwing even people like John McCain under the bus. And John McCain was rotten too at times. But I respect John McCain's military service record. Now, I will say that, being a former fellow serviceman myself. You know. But he's just a rotten individual. Like I said, I don't understand how he can live with himself the way he is, man. And that's what's truly, for lack of a better word, fucked up. I don't get it. I don't get this guy. And I don't get the people who call themselves true Americans really get about him. You know, He's throwing people on the bus. He's telling you to use medications that don't work. Yet he's not a doctor. Now, if you're not a doctor, why the fuck you talking about telling people what they should take? That goes to show you how much of a fucking retard he is. He's an absolute retard. But I have a theory on it. I think what he does a lot of times, he says stuff like this to get in people's head. Deliberately. Just to show you that he can. That's dangerous. I don't care what anybody say. That's dangerous. You guys know what he's doing. You know what he's up to. At some point, you gotta put a filter on him. And I mean, when I'm referring to filter, at some point, somebody gotta pull reins on this guy and say, "Hey, man, you can't be doing this." You know, or just get an emergency recall to get him out of office, because he's playing games that's not good and not healthy for us at all, whether it's a coronavirus or not. You know, it's bad enough with that as it is. Now you want to play games with people's money and lives and everything else. You ain't living right, man. And like I said, and I'm gonna say it again, God don't like ugly. And you know, if God don't like ugly, he sure as heck don't like you. Leave it at that. This is DJ Wolf